Hey everyone, it's Jen. This is Pretty Little Garden. I am a home gardener. I'm based in Western New York, Zone 6B, and I am glad to have you here today. Happy September to everyone. I hope everyone is enjoying the month of September, no matter where you live. I love it here in Western New York in the month of September. Things cool down. We still have quite a bit of nice sunny days, but they're pleasant sunny days. We can have really high temperatures in September, and we have in the past, but this month has been really pleasant in the 70s, high 70s, mid 70s. Today, I think the high is supposed to be 69. So it's a little bit cooler than we have been the last couple weeks. And, I feel like everything in the garden just kind of settles down. Things aren't stressed from the extreme heat. We haven't had too much rain, so I have had to water my garden this month because we haven't had too much rain in the month of September. But for the most part, it's just such a relaxing time, I find. But I also feel like it goes by so quickly. Fall goes by so very quickly, and that first frost date for me comes mid-October. So sometimes I feel like just when the garden starts to just really, relax and just be full and beautiful, I have to start thinking about buttoning things up as well. And sometimes I just don't want to do that. But it's just been a really relaxing month. I've really enjoyed the month of September. Um, it's back to school routine, and I enjoy that. I enjoy the not the fact that my kids are in school, because I love having my children around me. I have three boys, and my two older boys are away at college. One is a junior and one is a freshman. Hi, Aiden. Hi, Everett. And then I have a junior in high school who still lives at home here. So it's not so much that the back to school, but it's just the back to routine. It's just the consistency of a routine, the reliability of a routine that's really nice, I find. My youngest son, Tyler, he is on the sailing team this year for his school. And I have found that so interesting. He's learning all about how to sail, and they have their first, actually, it's their second regatta. He couldn't make the first one because he was taking his SAT, but they're having their second regatta this weekend. And so I'm really looking forward to going to that. It's about an hour away from here in Chautauqua Lake, and I think they call it the Fall Jamboree Regatta. So I'm excited to watch him sail for the first time. And I also think it would be interesting and fun to learn how to sail myself. Um, he does his sailing at this place down in Buffalo, and they actually do adult lessons too. Over the summer, I think they have like 4 or 6 weeks where they do a once a week adult sailing lessons. I said to my husband, let's do that. Let's try that out. It's always fun to try something new. So we're going to make a picnic lunch for our travels tomorrow and just enjoy the day. I think it's supposed to be a pleasant day in the 70s, and it'll just be nice to spend the day by the water watching Tyler sail and having a nice picnic lunch and just enjoying the surroundings. So anyways, I thought I would take you around my September garden. Not too much has changed, and yet things have changed. It's funny how, you think the garden hasn't changed much, but then, you do notice the changes in the colors. And I'm noticing that, I have a ton of leaves that have dropped from my river birch trees. That could also be from the stress of not a lot of rain in September, but the leaves are starting to yellow. My hydrangeas are starting to pink up. This Coleus, this Coleus is amazing. I'll show you this Coleus in a minute, but it has exploded. And I think September is like the best month for my Coleus because it just has reached its peak in growth, and it's just big and beautiful and happy. But like I said, that first frost comes fast. So today is Friday 19th. It's Friday, September 19th. So I have about 4 weeks until the frosty weather starts coming. So I'm going to enjoy these last few weeks in my September garden, and you're always invited. So let's take a walk and a talk in my September garden together. So I'll just start kind of in the back here. I'm not going to really have any order to this. I was talking about my Coleus, so I figured I'd show you my Coleus. But oh my goodness, like look how this planter has exploded. Like, look at this Coleus, you guys. Look at this. And honestly, we did have a really bad like wind and rainstorm at some point in September, and I think I took a couple clips of it, and I thought my Coleus was gone because honestly there was like a big spot that was filled in there and it broke off, and but I just pulled the dead part out and it is growing back, and this is just amazing. This is the Golden Dreams Coleus from the Color Blaze series of Proven Winners, and I've talked about this Coleus before. This is a winner of a Coleus. I mean, look at the size of this. It's just in the right spot. It's very happy. It can get some sun. It doesn't need all shade. And it's just been beautiful and happy. I have another Coleus in here as well. This one was just from a local nursery, so I don't know the name. It didn't have a tag, but it's also just colorful, big, and beautiful, as you can see. And there is just a creeping Jenny Lizamachia in there. That's just all green. It's not really yellowed because it's been covered by the Coleus. And I do have a begonia in there, I think, that's gotten lost. There's an asparagus fern way deep in there, but the Golden Dreams Coleus is a winner. So if you're looking to try a new Coleus out and looking for a really good one, this one is a great one to try here. I'll just come over here. Excuse my shoes there. There's Lucy. This is the other one. This one did have a little bit more breakage on it, from that wind and rainstorm, but still you can see it's starting to grow back, and it's really a beast of a plant, really beautiful. I also have to mention, you guys, that this was one plant. This was not like two that I planted. This was just one plant when I started. And if I can just insert a clip of what it looked like when I first planted it, I will. But just to see how incredible, that has grown in just a matter of, I think I planted it up probably the beginning of June, just to see how much it's grown. It's pretty amazing. Walk over here, you can see my limelight hydrangea starting to pink up. It's been pinking up for a while now. Really pretty, really beautiful. You can see the size of that limelight, and it's just underplanted with some perennial geranium and an early bird catmint, which this little clump here has gotten to be a little more full. This is just called Bloody Cranesbill, and this other one here is called Max Frey Cranesbill. I've got two of those, and then two of the pink ones, and then just a clump of early bird catmint that I put in. It's looking pretty good. There's Lucy. Good morning, Luce. You can see here's my hedge of golden Vicary privet that's underplanted with my early bird catmint. I still want to move this hydrangea on the end. This has some burn that's developed on it. You can see it's just kind of crispy here, crispy and burnt looking. Got some yellowed leaves. This might need water on the end here. It's in pretty much a full sun location, but I still want to move this hydrangea and add a ornamental tree. It will happen. It will happen in time. Let's walk this way. Excuse my hose. I want to get a hose link at some point. I know they're amazing. Just haven't had, hasn't happened yet. But that's definitely on my list. I would like to have two of them. And, we've had this little box here. It always falls over when I pull the hose out. And, I don't have any drip systems in my garden right now, so I'm hand watering everything. and sometimes it can be pretty cumbersome. Okay, this is another garden bed that I have that's looking really beautiful, aside from the peonies that have powdery mildew. That's going to be part of my cleanup. I'll have to cut those down, but the catmint, early bird catmint, is looking beautiful. That's a serendipity allium here. We have Hicksue hedge along the house. You can see it's got some new growth there. This is a little lime hydrangea. A little lime hydrangea that's in beautiful bloom. I find the little lime has a little more lime look to it, and it gets a little more pink. The limelight seems to stay a little more white, and then it turns to a pink. But yeah, really beautiful blooms on that, and this is looking really good. The shrub here. And my snow fountain weeping cherry. It's still putting out some new growth there. It needs to be clipped desperately, which we will do. And I think I told you I want to take these daylilies out. It's still in my head. I do have a little hydrangea still sitting here. I wasn't quite sure where I wanted to put these. This is the Invincible Mini Mauvette. And not quite sure where I'm going to place this yet. It takes me quite a while to figure things out sometimes. I like to sit on things for quite a while. Is anybody else like that? I just let myself think about it, and then I change my mind, and then I go back and forth. This hydrangea gets 2.5 to 3 feet tall and wide, so it's not humongous. It's a smooth hydrangea. It's a smooth hydrangea. It's an Annabelle type hydrangea. Unique purple type blooms are held on sturdy stems, and they bloom from summer through frost. And the season of interest for these is summer to fall. So, and oh, does it need? It says sun to part shade, so it could be a good location for them, because even though it's underneath this tree, you know, it still gets some sun as well. My little hedge of gold flame spirea, just kind of spent for the season, but you can see it's starting to autumn up. You see the autumn color starting, which is just so beautiful. You can see the oranges and the reds and the yellows starting to come up. And I'll have to show you my Generous Gardener Climbing Rose. You can see some of it is kind of trailed into this spirea. Let me show you. Before I show you the Generous Gardener up close, I just wanted to, just so I don't jump around too much, just show you my side cottage garden and what it's been looking like. And I've added just a couple of sunflowers. I'll give you a close-up look on those, just as a fall touch. But everything is still looking pretty good in this side cottage garden. There's a couple of things that have gone by, but for the most part, it's still looking quite lovely. I think I told you I pruned up my, this is Blue Cushion English Lavender right here. That's been pruned up for the season. This here is my Shasta Daisy that I winter sowed. And I was reading and didn't think they were supposed to bloom this year, but I did get a couple of blooms. That one there, and you can see this one's kind of on its way out, but then I have a new one coming up. And look at all the healthy foliage, really looking good. And the Conga Lime Sedum, that was like a creamy colored bloom. Now it's turning to like a cranberry red color. And you can see all the things I have in this side cottage garden. Everything is still pretty good. The Rudbeckia, that's, that has, bloomed out. You can see I'm just going to leave it as is for now, as well as the echinacea. And right here I just have some early bird catmint that I have divided from other clumps in my garden. I was at the nursery yesterday just looking for a couple of things for fall, and oh my goodness, look at this beautiful sunflower, you guys. I just couldn't resist. I think it was $7.99, so I bought this pot in, I bought this container and then another one here. Let's see if I can get a name. I didn't plant them here, I just set them here for right now. Okay, it's called the Sunflower Solsation Yellow. Full sun to part sun, blooms in summer and fall. So I think I might want to put them in the front of the house though, but I just set them here and watered them, and I just thought they looked really beautiful. So it's a nice fall touch. Behind the sunflower, oh gosh, that has been a favorite this year. This is the Play in the Blue Salvia, annual salvia for me in my zone 6B. And wow, that has been gorgeous. Definitely going to experiment with more salvia next year. I planted one here, and I also planted one right over there. And I think next year I'll probably plant another one here. I did plant some gaillardia there. You can see that's my gaillardia. I know one of them is called Apricot Sun. I'll put the names up, but I think next year I'll probably put another salvia there so I can have like a trio of salvia here. But yeah, really beautiful. The pollinators loved this salvia. There was always like, I'm surprised there's nothing on it right now, because even yesterday it was full, absolutely full of bumblebees. So it's called Rockin' Play in the Blues Salvia. So give it a try. I loved it. And you can see my celosia down here. This is the New Look celosia. That's the name of it, New Look. Just a really bright, vibrant color for fall. Really loving that. This other one I didn't really like as much. I don't remember the name of it, but it was just a pink celosia, or celosia, however you say it. But the New Look celosia has a really pretty color. And just behind my Rockin' Play in the Blue salvia, you can see I have my snapdragons still. I did cut on them recently, and I do have another one coming up here looking really beautiful. Really beautiful. I was really happy with this snapdragon. These were winter sown, so that's, another winter sowing success that I had. I'll definitely want to do more snapdragons next year, but I like how they filled in this little space. Some of them have fallen because I think I wasn't as diligent about clipping them as I should have been, but really beautiful. That was from Botanical Interest. I can't remember the name offhand, but I'll be sure to let you know what that snapdragon is called. And I do have some bachelor's button that decided to bloom up again, and you can see, oh my gosh, do you see all the spider webs? September is the season for spiders, the fall season. I've seen so many spiders and spider webs around. Not loving that, but just part of the change in seasons and temperatures. It's spider season. You can see there, I just have a little spirea. Reseeded itself last year. We thought we removed it. I guess we didn't, because it came back. And you can also see my clematis haldine. Pretty much done, but I do see a couple of new blooms. There. I hear a bee. So let me just give you a nice shot of this cottage garden. Side cottage garden. I was really happy with it this year. Okay, so let's just walk in the back. I'll show you what the Generous Gardener Climbing Rose is looking like. Honestly, I am like really impressed by this rose, and a little nervous, to be honest with you, because it is a beast. I mean, it has grown. You can see all these canes, all these healthy canes, all this healthy growth. Look at that. Every time I come near it, I feel like there's a new, look at this is where I hooked it, and it just sent out a new cane. And is that a main cane? I think, yeah, that's a main cane. I'm still new to roses. I'm still learning, but here we are. nearing the end of my gardening season. And look at this new beautiful bud that's going to open up. I have tried to zip tie things where I can to control it, but I know I'm going to have to be pruning this pretty aggressively every year to keep it in check. I did, look at this here, look at this new growth. I did have to zip tie some of them to the fence here. I don't really want to do that too often because I don't want it to interfere with my neighbor's yard there, or for my neighbor to get snagged with a thorn. But just really beautiful. Oh gosh, that needs to come off. Let me just come around here. These are some spirea double play doozy, I think. What is it? Yeah, double play doozy. I have 3 of these that I have to get into the ground. Lots to do. But yeah, here's another bloom here. Gotta be careful. I'm gonna get snagged by a thorn here, but oh my goodness, look at all these new little blooms. That's kind of an older one, but there's a new one here coming up. There's a new one here about to open up. Loving it. And this side seems like a little bit happier than the other side, but let me take you around to the other side here. This one really is just as happy. It's just a little smaller, I guess, but there's a new bud there. And again, look at the beautiful, healthy growth. This is going to be so happy in this spot. Look at how beautiful. Just really loving it. But I do have to keep it in check. I do realize that. Oop. Okay. So that's my generous gardener, and I'm loving the structure that it's climbing on. It's the Pergola Arbor from Kinsman Garden Company. Been really happy with that. We put that in last this past spring, April of 2024. So just about a year and a half ago. And this is the Twombly's Red Sentinel Japanese Maple. And as you can see, it's just sending out some new growth. Let me see if I can come over here and show you. Isn't that beautiful? That beautiful red color. I guess this is like the fall color. So I don't know. I think it's supposed to be turning, the whole tree itself is supposed to be turning more of a red color, from what I can recall. So we've been happy with that tree. Emerald Green Arborvitae. For anyone who is maybe new to my channel, I planted these last fall, 5 of them, and they were pretty mature, and my husband and I had some miscommunication. I thought he was watering them, he thought I was watering them, so they're not looking really great, but definitely that one on the end is like totally dead, but we're just not ready to do anything about this right now. These don't look too bad. So we're just kind of trying to nurse them back to health. I mean, that one on the end is, I think, far gone, but I mean, we technically could keep these if we wanted to. They look a little rough at the bottom, but listen, this is real life here, and that's just what happened in my garden, and sometimes things like that happen, I'm not going to shy away from showing you or telling you about my mistakes because, hey, I can be the queen of mistakes sometimes. Look at all the beautiful leaves on the ground. So beautiful. And the river birch tree, oh my goodness, that's, we haven't had a lot of rain in September, but I mean, this is also the time of year that the leaves change color, and there's been quite a few that have dropped to the ground already and have just been just like a beautiful layer of confetti. Beautiful layer of confetti on the garden. These here are my pulmonaria, lungwort, pinkablu pulmonaria. I just watered those yesterday because I felt like they needed a little bit of water. This is not their prime time for blooming, but they're still looking really good. They have a really interesting leaf. You can see it's like a spotted leaf. Now, it's funny, it feels a little bit softer this month than it did like earlier on. When I first planted it, it had more of a sandpaper feel. Still does have kind of a rough feel to it, but a little bit softer. This is my blue muffin viburnum. These are still getting established. I was kind of writing these off, saying I didn't really like them, but I'm going to give them a chance. I feel like they need just to get established a little bit more. I also feel like they probably could have used more water. My bad, that was on me. But they're starting to change color, and I don't see any blueberries, but I think I had mentioned before this viburnum. It's called the blue muffin viburnum from Proven Winners, and it needs another type of, I think it's viburnum denatum, in order to produce the ornamental blueberries. So I did see a couple blueberries on it last season. So we'll see what happens this season. These were planted, I believe it was like end of the summer last year. And I did end up seeing some ornamental blueberries on it at some point, but maybe it was in spring. I don't remember. But anyways, you do need another viburnum denatum in order to see those ornamental blueberries. So we shall see. We're still waiting on this viburnum, see what it does for us. And just moving along. I know I show this and point this out quite a bit, but it is something beautiful. Just the bark of the river birch tree. This is a Dura-Heat river birch tree. And the bark is just gorgeous. It's just beautiful. Really beautiful. It's a really quiet morning this morning. I'm going to go over to my mom's in a little bit to play cards with her. We haven't played cards in a long time. My mom is she loves playing cards, especially with her sisters, but both of her sisters live out of town, so she doesn't get to play. They used to play canasta all the time. Now they play samba, super samba, and I have been learning super samba. I'm by no means as good as they are, but I'm trying to learn so I can play with my mom and also play when my aunts come to visit. Hi, Lou. Hello. How are you? Are you having a good day? Yeah? Okay. Window boxes still looking really good, and I've decided for the fall this year, I'm not going to go crazy and change out these window boxes. I've added a couple of fall touches in the front yard, but nothing totally crazy, because I think these still look good. We only have like 4 more weeks before our frost, so these are looking good. These are going to be my fall flowers as well. So just coming over here, this is my neon flash spirea that is out of bloom yet in bloom. It's got kind of old and new blooms on it. Really trying to push forth some new growth there as well. Really, it's got a really pretty pink. Let's see if I can find more of a new. I think this is more reflective of the color pink there, like right here too, of this spirea. We'll come down this way. My Dwarf Alberta Spruce, all of them have been riddled with spider mites this season. I didn't really show the one over there, but that one is riddled with spider mites too. We've been using neem oil and spraying them with water, hoping that they look better next year. We'll see what happens. Just coming around the corner here, and I kind of stopped feeding the birds right now too, because I'm starting to clean things up and I don't want a huge mess to clean up. I've been working on weeding this area of all of my bird, when the seeds drop, I just get tons of weeds, seeds that are growing and stuff like that I don't necessarily want. Hence, this was some bird seed that dropped into this container and grew up into, I believe, is corn. Haven't seen an official piece of corn on there yet, but I decided, hey, that's good for a fall decoration, so we've left that there. But this container's fallen over to a number of times, right? I have some things that need to be pulled that are dead in here. Oh, that one wasn't as dead, but yeah, this is one of my fall containers. You can see how big my Ouija placata green giants have gotten. Really have grown very tall. This is my summer romance rose. I'm just going to take a walk through here. I will show you, I'm still having some issues here. You can see these are my cat's pajamas nepeta that I planted. This one still looks like it's hanging on, but this whole area I'm having such an issue with. You can see now these aren't doing well. The tree has not been doing well. We know that. That's my Crimson Century Norway maple tree. And then behind it, I have the Ivory Halo Red Twig Dogwood. And that is not doing well in that spot. I just think, I don't know if there's too much water here. I'm not quite sure. We tried to build it up with some topsoil. But this is, this is an issue here. I mean, it's just really in this location here because this one's not doing too bad and neither is this one here. I mean, they're kind of looking rough. It's the end of the garden season, and then you can see that the Mr. Bowling Ball Arborvitae, that's what this is here. Sometimes I tend to skip over this one without saying its name, but this is the Mr. Bowling Ball Arborvitae. You can see that one's looking pretty good, and my Ouija green giants are doing well. Everything kind of over this way, but then you reach a certain point, like right here, and everything just dies in this one strip. So this is a white rose of Sharon that I planted last fall, and it was literally just like a little twig that I got from my mom's neighbor, Layla. Thank you, Layla. And you can see it really is looking pretty good and starting to grow and look beautiful. So that's wonderful. I did plant another one right over here. That one was nibbled by bunnies earlier in the season, and I honestly thought that I lost it. But you can see it's starting to put on some new growth as well. And I also have a phlox. I'll put the name of the phlox up. This one also was nibbled down to the ground by bunnies, but is looking much better, with some new growth there. So I think it'll probably look better next year. Crimson Cutie Barberry there. Very awesome hardy hibiscus. I talked a lot about this one in my last August garden tour. You can see it's bloomed quite a bit. Here's a lot of the spent blooms that have fallen. And, this isn't prolific as it was in August, but still really beautiful, really still blooming and loving this area, but, starting to slow down. And you can see there is my Vanderwolf pine. Really beautiful pine tree, very soft and gorgeous. It'll start to drop some needles pretty soon. Let me just walk over here and show you another viewpoint here. See if you can get a better look at that tree. Yeah, it'll start to drop its needles this time of year. There's a little bit on the ground, but it'll start to do that more, over the next several weeks. You can see I planted another spirea here. This is the candy corn. And wow, that's changed colors from when I first planted it. Looks totally like yellow and green. Did have a lot of red orange to it when I first planted it. So, okay, we're just coming around here. Just taking a look at my containers. These have fallen over, got to be honest with you guys, several times. The ones on the end here. This one and then that one over there. This is a Shenandoah switchblade grass that I pulled from the front of my house. And for the Shenandoah switchblade grass, I guess with a lot of the ornamental grasses, fall is their prime time. It's their time to shine. So this one's starting to put up all its plumes and looking great. This is the Luscious Royale Cosmo Lantana. And I really like this lantana. Really beautiful. It's looking a little bit rough because, like I said, it's been knocked over so many times, like it's here. And this is a petunia from Proven Winners. And oh gosh, it's like the Vivid Hoopla. I'm going to have to get the tag. I'm going to reach in and get the tag because I can't remember the exact name. Hold on. I always appreciate when people share the names and specifically what it is, but this is the Proven Winners Supertunia Hoopla Vivid Orchid Petunia Hybrid. It's an award winner, full to part sun, and despite being knocked over multiple times, you know, this is looking pretty good. What I notice about this one is just it always has, like, it's always covered in blooms. You could see it has some spent blooms there too, but it's always covered with so many new blooms that you don't even have to worry about it. And you don't have to deadhead or, you know, do anything about those spent blooms. They just kind of disintegrate and disappear. But really, it's beautiful. And the other one that I showed you is, this is the Proven Winners Luscious Royale Cosmo Lantana. And I did plant this last year as well, and I really liked it. I think next year I'll probably choose a different spot for it because I don't know, it just, this container got kind of top heavy and it got knocked over multiple times. It still looks really great. I think it doesn't look bad at all, but it can look better. So I think I'll choose a different spot for that next year. You know, maybe a container that's a little bit more protected, or you know, just in a little bit better of a spot, I think, for next year. But, you know, not really complaining, just giving you my garden thoughts. I did also plant a Diamond Frost Euphorbia in this container, but I cannot locate it. I don't know, it just kind of disappeared. Just kind of disappeared on me here, so just stick these back in here. I have to say, I think this is my favorite container from the year. It really is. It's just happy and gorgeous, and it was in the right spot. It probably could have had a little bit more of an obvious thriller, but I don't mind. I think it looks gorgeous. It's the Curly Whirly Grass, which it's kind of getting lost in this Miscanthus grass, but it's the Curly Whirly Grass from Proven Winners. You can see that coming up the top. Then we've got Blue Artist Azuratum, Artist Blue Azuratum. You can see my Vinca vine trailing down, and if I turn over this way, you can see it's just trailing just into my garden bed there. And then I just have the Supertunia Blue Moon Punch Calibrachoa. And oh, this has been a wonderful annual for me, and you can see how it's trailing down. It's just in a really nice spot right on the ledge here, and it got, you know, a lot of sun. I think it was happy because it got a lot of sun and I kept it watered. And I have to say, this isn't probably the best it's looked, but it still looks pretty darn good. And this, to me, I think I'd have to say it was my favorite this year, this container. Okay, I'm just looking at the time, and I know I'm going to run out of time, but I do want to just take you around. This is the same kind of container that I showed you on the other side. And I know I've showed you this before. I've got my original Endless Summer Original Hydrangeas. There's 3 of those there. Let me come over and show you the Autumn Joy Sedum, because that's really kind of shining this year in the garden this time of year. And that's coloring up really nice. Isn't that beautiful? With the backdrop of the Emerald Green Arborvitae. Really pretty. Hey, Lucy. I think she's trying to get into the neighbor's yard. So come on, stay with me. Stay with me, garden friend. Okay? We're going to be finishing up here. Okay? Come on. can see signs of autumn, signs of fall everywhere. When I see signs of fall, it always reminds me of my son Everett, because when he was in pre-K, Lucy, no, no, he used to say, he used to have, use S's for a lot of his other letters. And so he would say, Mom, I see a sign of Saul, like Saul, he would say instead of fall. But he would yell it in like this little Mickey Mouse voice. I see a sign of Saul. So I told him, I texted him, I said, Everett, I'm seeing lots of signs of Saul. He just laughed. He laughed. So funny. There you can see changes in the colors. This hydrangea is definitely, I didn't prune this one this year, so you can see the blooms are a lot smaller. I never got around to this one, so you can see how the blooms are smaller, and this one's definitely a little stressed. Definitely a little stressed. It's okay. We'll do better next year. Candy mint crabapple tree and the little tiny crab apples. Really beautiful. Okay, let's take a look. Let's walk up here and just take a look at my raised garden bed and my Ballerina zinnias. Now I just did a video where I pruned them, and all of a sudden they're not looking as good, which, it's that time of year, but you can see they're starting to kind of die back. But you can also see new buds coming, because I did give it a good prune, so you can see some new buds kind of starting to form and hopefully open up before we get our first frost. But I talked about this in my last video, so if you want to know a little bit more about the Ballerina zinnia, you can watch my last video. But it is a gorgeous, gorgeous annual zinnia. This is from Johnny's Seed, and they've got beautiful colors of like pink, peach, cream, and they're just gorgeous. They're double blooms. They're like, there's some that are dahlia style, like cactus type blooms, and I just was really, really thrilled with them. This is a Coleus called Marble that can tolerate some sun. That obviously has been happy. I just kind of clipped the blooms off of it, some of the blooms off of it last night, but you can see it's a really pretty speckled leaf. Very beautiful. And I also want to show you on the other side. Let's see if I can squeeze through here without breaking anything. In this container here, this is called the blue grandma grass, in this little purple container, and this is something that I winter sowed. It's from Botanical Interests. I'll kind of put the little seed packet, picture the seed packet up so you can see. It's a perennial grass, but I grew it in the winter sown jug, didn't touch it at all until it was nice and ready to come out of the container. This was one of the last winter sown things that I planted up, and I've loved it. You can see it's starting to put on kind of a red color. Let me go in. You can see it's starting to kind of turn red for the fall, but I just thought it had a really unique plume that came up. Let me see if I can zoom in and show you. It looks like a little feather. See, looks like a little feather. And I just thought that was so interesting. Let's see if I can show you this one here. I can get it to focus. Anyways, this is the blue grandma grass. It's a perennial grass. Oh gosh. Well, hello. That was a blue jay, I think. Here's my tomatoes. We're cutting it close, but I'm starting to harvest some. I planted my tomatoes pretty late. Planted them mid-July, which in my zone 6B is not timely enough. You really need to plant your tomatoes, ideally 2 weeks like after your last frost date, which would be like the end of May for me in zone 6B in Western New York. But we're making it work, and I've tasted some of my tomatoes so far, and they've been delicious. So we're doing it. We're making it work. I have planted celebrity tomatoes. There's 2 celebrity tomatoes here that are determinate, along with, I believe, aroma, which is also determinate. This is an everlasting strawberry plant that's still looking pretty good. I just ate a bunch off of it. Looks like it's producing some flowers now here. Or I'm sorry, not everlasting, everbearing. Let me show you the tag. There it is. Everbearing strawberry. Matures in 30 to 40 days. Fruits 1 to 2 inches. Everbearing strawberry. Produces deliciously sweet berries in June and again from late summer to frost. So yeah, it should be starting to put, give me more until my first frost date, hopefully. And you can see here, this is a red cherry tomato, I believe. Yep, red cherry tomato, which is an indeterminate tomato. That means it just keeps growing and vining and producing, not just one crop, but just producing all season. Then this is also red cherry, which is the indeterminate, and you can see, they've got a lot of green, but they're starting to red up there. You can see here. You can see in here, some of them are starting to go. This here is a Roma. That one's kind of looking rough, but I'm hoping I get some off of this plant as well. I did just harvest a bunch of these peppers, and here's another one that's ready to go. They don't get too big. I pull up as soon as they're kind of that size. I see like a couple nice ones there that I can pull out, and I've enjoyed those. This is another celebrity, red cherry, celebrity, and aroma. And you can see behind that, I've got my raised garden bed. My dwarf sunflowers are starting to kind of fade away, as well as the zinnias. You can see, things are starting to say goodbye for the season. These containers are still looking beautiful. Really, really beautiful. There's that Proven Winners Blue Moon Punch again. That looks good. Jazzberry, Supertunia Jazzberry. A beautiful osteospermum. Another osteospermum called Pink Magic over here. And my clematis, it's still blooming. Still blooming. Same thing over here. You can hear those Canadian geese. I don't know if you can hear them. They're squawking. They're squawking. It's their time of year. They're just kind of deciding what they want to do for the winter. I don't know if you could see them. They just kind of flew off. Okay. Oh, here comes some more. Here comes some more, guys. You hear them. Okay, I just walked from the back to the front. I just wanted to show you a few things that I have in the front here for fall. You can see, just give you a little viewpoint from right when you step out of my front porch. And I'll come down here and show you a little bit better view here from my celebration maple tree. This is my celebration maple tree here. Starting to drop some of its leaves, change color. It does have that little black spot. I can't remember. It's a fungus. that I guess, doesn't hurt your tree too much. But I've noticed it has that on the leaves this year. Like I said, you can see some of the leaves have dropped here. Let's see. Okay. Let me show you just a shot of the front before we end things for today. This is the front of the house. I'm going to take you in and show you what I've done. Nothing too crazy this year for fall. You can see my daylilies are spent and ready to be clipped down. You can see I did prune the Junior Walker catmint, but I didn't get a reflush of the blooms. I think I may have pruned them just a little too late. Maybe I'll start to see something before the first frost in terms of a bloom. Let's go Buffalo. Our Buffalo Bills played last night. That's our hometown football team, and they won against the Miami Dolphins. Just going to show you my window box here. Yeah, so this is my window box that's been here since June, and I pretty much left everything. You can see, I'll kind of, put a picture up of what it looked like initially, and it's grown quite a bit. I did have some pansies and violas in here as well. I just took those out, and I left the gomphrena. It kind of, is spreading itself all around. And I also left the dark Saturn petunia because I kind of thought that was appropriate for fall. You can see that. This is the fireworks grass from Proven Winners. Fireworks grass. And I just added, and they're not even blooming yet, but I added some mums. This one is called Ursula Lavender. And this one is like a vanilla almond, I think it's called. Put that osteospermum there. Our Luno vanilla mums. And you can see osteospermums, they're starting to shine. It's cooling down. This is the blue-eyed beauty, I think it was called, osteospermum. And Dichondra Silver Falls. I probably wouldn't do the Dichondra Silver Falls in that spot next year because it kind of got lost. You can see it's sort of hidden, and it was blocked by this Dwarf Alberta Spruce. And, I think there's better places for that. And yeah, that's kind of my window box. I'm going to leave this just as is for fall. You have a little bit of a random viola coming up there. You have to excuse all this. We have like a lot of sawdust in our mulch. We just redid our floors in our living room and dining room and a couple other spots in the house. I can actually show you. Maybe I'll do that in a separate video if anybody is interested in just some of the renovations we did inside. We finally, redid. Our big thing was we redid our living room. It had been needing it since we moved in 10 years ago. We just never really got anything new for that room when we moved in terms of furniture. And it just was really in desperate need of that. So if you're interested, maybe I'll do a video on that. If you're interested, let me know. Here are my, this is the Bada Boom mix of begonias, Bada Boom begonias in the pink color. And I just got a mum, an orange colored mum behind that. I still have a geranium there. I do want to try to overwinter that this year. And let's see, what was this one called? I think this was the salmon. It was called like salmon pink zonal geranium, a salmon pink zonal geranium. This is a container that's really gotten huge. I really like this grass. This was a Proven Winners grass. And okay, here it is. This was Proven Winners Graceful Grasses Skyrocket. And boy, did that skyrocket. Look at how big. right? That got really huge. You can see both of them, they're just really happy. And I had lemon licorice in this container at the bottom here. This was the lemon licorice. It was a proven selections, but it really was looking kind of rough. So I just pulled that last night, but I still have some vinca vine in there. There's vinca vine as the trailer. And I also have a perennial. There's a perennial heuchera or coral bells in there. And this one is, it's called Indian Summer Orangeberry Coral Bells. Let's see if I can kind of show you the leaf on that. It's really pretty. Really pretty. So I could actually pop that out into my landscape somewhere if I wanted to. My Gerber daisy from my niece Samantha is hanging on and looking gorgeous, just sending up some more blooms. And this is a little garden friend that I just purchased. Look at how cute. Look at how cute, guys. I'll link this in the description if anybody, you know, is interested in it. But it's just like a little owl holding a solar light. So I have one there. And then I bought another little guy for over here. And it's just, you know, just a little figurine. And you basically put it in a full sun location. I think it said it needed 6 to 8 hours, something like that, of direct sun in order to, you know, get the solar power so it can shine its light at night. And so far I've had it up for like a few days, and every night it has shined, and it looks so cute. So I'll insert some footage of what it looks like at night. But I just thought it was a nice, cute little nice accent, you know, along this walkway here. So, and then we just have, it's our front door mat. This is from Front Gate, and this is actually pretty old. This is, we've had this since 2021, so I just ordered a new one. I might put this one on the side of the house, but they're really good quality, I find. You know, this one we've had for like 4 years, and we have not taken it inside at all, so it is good quality. Just needs to be replaced this year. So like I said, we ordered one. This is our front door. We just had that repainted when we were doing some of the work inside, so that looks nice and fresh. And this is my front door wreath. I've had it for many years. This was a gift from my mother-in-law for my birthday one year, and I'm not quite sure where she got it, but it's like, you know, like a faux boxwood, faux sunflower. It looks like, and then just some fall leaves in there. Just really pretty. So I really like that. This is my garden shelf. Let me step back and give you a look here. This is what I have going on here right now. You can see my Bada Boom begonias, the pink. They have filled out pretty good. You can see I have them in all of my little containers here. I still kept my bunnies out from the springtime. I liked them. I added some Indian corn that I had from last year. And everybody knows, if you've been around for a little while, my statue of Lucy, my statuary likeness of Lucy, my dog. I just thought it looked like her. It's called Puppy in Boots. You can see it's actually wearing some boots, and just thought that looked like my girl. And little angel there. And up top here, these are some faux books that I got from the Dollar Tree. So right there and right there, you can get a lot of inexpensive fall decorations from the Dollar Tree, the dollar store there. Let me just back up here. This is my front. I just changed the pillows out for the fall. And this is the front container. I've got a purple fountain grass with a Sedona Sunset Coleus, which I really do love this Coleus. It didn't get as big this year, and I really think it was competing with the grass. I just did some planting yesterday in there. I added some mums, so I didn't get a chance to blow that off. But the Sedona Sunset Coleus, it is a beautiful Coleus. from Proven Winners. It usually will grow and get big and beautiful, but I think it, like I said, it was competing with this purple fountain grass. So still beautiful, but not as big as it got like last year. But look at the colors. It's just a beautiful sunset colors, the burnt orange, purple, chartreusey kind of colors in there. You can see this leaf is a little bit different. And I did actually put some orange mums down below there. I did have petunias there. I had banana cherry petunias, and I just replaced them with, I think this is called Autumn Envy, an Autumn Envy mum. Yep, Autumn Envy bronze mum, garden mum. I see the little tag there, so that will start to open up and bloom there. Last thing I want to show you is this container here. I had these in the front by the front walkway, but they just got so huge that I decided to move them. So this was the Senorita Rosalita Cleome hybrid from Proven Winners. Got humongous, you guys. Really beautiful plant. Really beautiful. Pollinators loved it as well. Really pretty. Look at just the uniqueness of that bloom. So let me just come around and show you what I underplanted it with. There's some pink lantana down there, and some Vine trailing. So we're going to have to take this apart soon, but I just kind of moved it over here because it's still looking just really beautiful. I didn't want to get rid of it just yet. So that's that, and I have one more over here just around the corner. Oh, you can see this is my little mat that I got from Coleus the other day. Happy fall. I'll link it. I'll try to link it if I can. If anybody's interested in that, that's just sort of on the side here. And this is my other container with the Senorita Rosalita Cleome hybrid, underplanted with the pink lantana, tongue twisters, and the Vine. Thanks for joining me in my garden today, and I look forward to seeing everyone again really soon. I hope you're enjoying September and enjoying your gardens, and leave me a comment below. Let me know how things are going wherever you are gardening, whatever zone you're in, wherever you live. Share something with me. Tell me what you're loving. Share with me how September's been going. I love to hear all about you guys too. I love chatting with you in the comments. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Did we enjoy the garden tour, Lou? We thank everyone for joining us today. Right? Thank you. Thank you. We'll see you soon, right?